coming off another win. Obviously, we closed the chapter on Syracuse last night. Outstanding by job by our football team. Preparation. I think it always starts with preparation, how we practice, and to dismantle a team like we did, especially defensively. We were on the field for 102 snaps. We lost time possession by 22 minutes. Our guys didn't look back, don't care. They were out there eating. And, our offense only had 45 snaps, so they weren't on the field very long just because we couldn't. But, it was impressive performance, especially defensively. And, again, would have been nice to give our offense more snaps, but we got a lot of guys to play the game as well. That was the other thing. In the past, we've gotten guys snaps against Youngstown State, but we were able to get, 2s and 3s in the game, especially defensively, because of the amount of snaps we had in the score and what it was. So moving on to the next one, in SMU, Rhett Lashley won a conference championship a year ago, has stumbled only once this season, so they got a great football team. He's a heck of a coach, happy for him, and we're looking forward to going down to Dallas. Defensively, they're 4 down, change it up coverage-wise a little bit, but to me, they're very similar to us defensively, in my opinion, just because I think they're simple. I don't think they do a lot. I think what they do is like sound, and they just play hard and play fast, and that's why they had so much success. I think they're ranked 24th in the country in rush defense, I believe, or let me get my stats right here. Rush defense, they are 5th in the country, 5th in the country, so probably number 1 in the ACC, I would imagine. Rush offense, they're a running team compared to what we saw last week, a passing team. This is a team that's going to want to run it at you. Does a great job running on everybody, but 24th in the country rushing offense. Defensively interesting. You talk about transfer portal. They have 17 guys in their 2 deep that are, portal guys. Matter of fact, I think every one of their starters is from the portal. Every one of them on defense. Offensively, they only have 7 guys in the portal. So I thought that was an interesting thing. Like, holy cow. They got a lot of good players. They're talented across the board. Their 2 defensive ends stand out. Harvey and Roberts, those guys stand out on defense. Obviously, their tailback, obviously Kevin Jennings, their quarterback. Rashard Smith, their tailback, and the receiver, number 13, Roderick Daniels. He's kind of a slash guy. Plays a little tailback, plays a little receiver. You're not quite sure what to call him, a tailback, but he's slash. Pittsburgh knows what that is from the old days. Really good football team that we got to prepare to come after him again. Questions?
Okay. What type of problem does Kevin Jennings present just with his mobility and his?
Yeah, he's really athletic. Unlike what we saw last week. We know last week my guy, he could sling it and throw it and accurate and 2nd and 3rd down conversions. This guy's gonna, he's got a strong arm. He can zip it in there. It's like he's playing darts out there. He throws darts, and obviously he can beat you with his feet. So we're gonna have to contain him the best we can. But he's a guy that likes to scramble and take off running. So that'll be the challenge this week.
You watched SMU Duke Saturday night, then you watched it yesterday. What was the difference between actually studying the game and just watching it on?
It's totally different. You listen to the announcers and what they say, and you're getting a totally different view. But watching the all 22 is the fun part. that's why we coach. You couldn't get. I actually woke up Saturday morning early and watched it on the iPad just to from the all 22. It's a well played game. I think both teams battled it out and came down to a 2-point play.
Pat, how's Eli doing, and what have been you guys' biggest notes coming away from this last game?
Biggest notes coming away from the last game, loved how we executed 3rd down as far as just defensively. We talked about probably key to victory was what we did on 3rd down, like 3rd down, getting off the field with them being as good as they were. I know I raved on Monday and last Thursday about their 3rd down because it was scary watching 3rd and medium. But to think that on 3rd down we got 3 interceptions. I think everybody talks about, like the 3 pick sixes and all that, but 3 of those interceptions were on third down, maybe 4 of them. In fact, one was a pick 6 by Lewis. Brandon George was third down. PJ's was third down. So it was 3. But just what you do on third down, like that was the most incredible thing. But I love the selflessness out of our football team. I mean, I don't think we have a selfish soul in the room. When that's to me, selfless teams win championships. Okay, and when you're worried about what do I get from this, or me, you have a problem. So just going back to that, we versus me. I think that's one thing, and just the way our guys play. I mean, look at that, back there, attitude. Our kids got a great attitude, effort. I mean, these guys are flying around offensively and defensively, whether you got 45 plays or 102. I mean, I think we're a tough football team. I think, we got after it. We enjoyed playing. We loved the game. And then our knowledge, probably the one thing we still can improve in both sides of just, constantly, consistently having details all the time. And that comes down to knowledge, whether it's, reading a coverage on offense, as a receiver, or as a quarterback or a running back for that matter. So hope I answered your question, at least part of it.
What about Eli embraces the we, not me? Or what's an example of him embracing the we, not me in the way that he practices and the way that he plays?
Eli doesn't care about what the stats. He wants to win football games. I think that's what it comes down to. And, but Eli's the same guy every day in practice. I mean, Chris, he is the same guy. He practices hard. He pays attention to details. You're not looking at this grumpy, Eli out of practice one day, the next day he's happy, and then game day he's this and that. It's like the same person, which is what you like. You like that consistent personality. You know what you're going to get every day. And I'd say that for, probably 90% of our football team, which is a good thing.
Will Nate take more reps with the first team in practice?
They'll get some reps with first team, no question about it. So we'll wait and see.
You missed the first part of Chris's question a minute ago, though. How does Eli do that?
I did?
Yeah. You must have forgotten that he asked.
Jerry, tell him. Chris, Joe, you answer the
I
question.
have no control of these guys.
Hey, it's a wait and see. We'll see. Okay, so you guys know I don't talk about injuries. That's every individual's. That's his deal. So.
Last week, or after the Cal game, the big thing with Eli was take what the defense gives you. It seems like that was the big lesson from that game. What was the lesson for him from the Syracuse game?
Number one, he protected the ball, right? When you think about being +5 in the game and giving up 0, so he did protect the ball. I thought he did a good job. I mean, he protected the ball. He got it where he needed to get it, and I don't have any other, evaluation for him. Might be a great question for Coach Bell. I'm sure he could pick and pick and pick, but manage the game, and hand it off when you need to, and got to make some plays.
First time you guys are going to play a ranked opponent this season. Obviously, SMU still undefeated in the ACC. Does this feel like the biggest game that you guys have played so far this year? Maybe those stakes.
Stephen, I think every week is a big game. I mean, like Syracuse, it was 5-1. I don't care, ranked, unranked, all that ranking. Whoever ranks them, like, who cares? But like last week was a big game. Every game's big. Cal was a big game. That was a good football team. That was a great defense that came in here. I mean, they shouldn't have lost the games. They should have beat Miami, who's an undefeated team. Like every week, I mean, I can point to like who you're playing. This is just the next one in line, and it's a road trip. It's a night game. We're fired up to be on the ACC network finally. I mean, we get the road show there, whatever they call it, and get with that crew. I think that's always fun. And they really haven't seen us this year. It's great. I mean, we haven't had a 3:30 game. We haven't had a new game with our ACC network. So that's our network. So we're excited about that. So, fired up. It's a big game. It's just the next game. Guess what? Next week, Virginia will be a big game. A big one.
How have you seen Cade work with Eli week to week versus you can't always take the same approach as a coach. You got to push the players in different ways. But like Chris said, like we've heard Eli say, "Hey, you got to take what's there. I got to trust my guy. I got to do this." How have you seen Cade challenge him in different ways to guide him in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, I think just different ways of watching videotape with the guys. Whether you're watching a cut up this way or that way, or watching this cut up. Watching people take advantage of some of the things that we want him to take advantage of, but that's coaching, and it's a daily process, and you always change, how you get your message across.
As a defensive guy, How much do you emphasize splash plays, and just what was it like watching your defense, make those plays left and right?
Well, we're always working on turnovers. As you guys go out to practice tomorrow, you see the first period's always, turnover circuit. They don't always work out the way you want it, but you're always emphasizing make plays. You want your guys to make big plays. That's what they want to do. So whether it's punching a ball out or pick six, that's what you want. But our guys got a lot of confidence. I can tell you that. And whether it's the D line or the linebackers or the DBs. You think about Jordan Bass coming out there getting a tip ball. For PJ's interception. It's just guys making plays and being in the right place. Jordan Bass is in the right spot, and he's not supposed to turn around and get the pick on that coverage. And he, and again, that's kind of the way it's supposed to be done. So it's just fun to watch guys make plays and do it the way they're supposed to, whether they're splash plays or not. You don't necessarily win with splash plays. You can blow somebody out with splash plays. I can tell you that. But it's about the details. The most impressive thing is defensively we gave up 2 big runs. 2 explosives the entire game against a team that's pretty explosive and got an NFL quarterback in the backfield. So one was on a bubble where we just don't fit it right. It's something we do every single day. Things that drive me nuts. It's like we fit a bubble like that all the time. And you fit and ran right behind the linebacker and we give up the biggest 40-yard pass. That drives me nuts because we practice it a lot. And then we give up a fade ball, which I think was good coverage. But those two. We will win a lot of games when you only give up 2 big plays. And everybody talks about the press corners and we've done a nice job of playing good defense. Like I said, Coach Collins. I'll rave about the offensive coaches again. Coach Bates and Manlack and Dowse and Corey Sanders and Archie Collins. Those corners keep getting better every week as far as just the coverage part of it. So just watching that progress has been fun. But it's not about the splash. It's about the consistency and execution. Because you can have a pick 6 and next play give up 6 on a fade. So that splash play didn't matter. You just nullified it.
How much progress has Nate been able to make being a backup quarterback for the first season?
It's hard to tell. The only way you find out is when you get in the game, right? And he didn't have 10 plays or something like that. He didn't have very very many at the end there. We would like to have gotten him more, but that's he played a quarter of the game based on offensive snaps. I think he gets better in practice. He's locked in all the time. He's in the office early today, ready to roll. So.
What does it mean to have in addition of SMU to the conference? What does it mean to you to have that kind of team? One of the 4 teams ranked right now in the conference, up to the bowl school conference.
Yeah, that's not my job to evaluate. That can be commissioner. To me, it's good to have a good football team in the conference. Good coaches, I'm looking forward to going down to Dallas and seeing what they got down there. I've never played at SMU. It's one of those games you've never played at, and different stadium. Growing up, Eric Dickerson and those goggles. That's kind of where I grew up in those era. Like that guy was a dude. Watching him run down there. So it's homecoming. We're a homecoming team. So maybe I'll get to meet Eric Dickerson at the 50-yard line or something like that. So.
Obviously, your offensive line has dealt with some adversity. You're going to have Terrence for the rest of the season. How have you seen them kind of come together, or do you see progress from that group?
Yeah, Terrence. I think someone asked me after the game. I don't know who it was after the game how Terrence played, and matter of fact, we had one guy. We grade him. We get percentage grades, but we talk about winning or low winning. I think we had one low winner. I'll announce that at my radio show, so I don't spill the beans there. So Jerry, make sure he pays attention. We had 3 guys, 4 other guys play. So our offense played high average in the 40-some plays they played in. But Enos did not hurt us. He was high average, which is I guess a notch below low winning. You can be low average if you wanted to be, but they solid against a good football team that did a lot of different stuff.
Poppy and CJ both had touchdowns in the last game. What's it been like having those 2 guys come with Kate Bell this season? How important are they for your offense?
Yeah, it's been fun. On Poppy's touchdown, you think about just how he ran that route, and just running with speed and taking care of business, and he ran a great route. Gavin Bartholomew cleared out, really helped open up that play. The factors that maybe you don't see, you just watch Poppy run, but Gavin ran a nice route as well. You look at that, and you look at Seiji on his touchdown pass. He catches in his seam. He finds grass. You know, we run a kind of a mesh, we call it mesh home concept, where, you know, it's crossing routes with a guy spotting down over the ball. And he did a nice job. And then he turns around and gets vertical. So, you know, whoever's making it, you know, I mean, Kenny Johnson had 3, you know, nice catches, almost, I think, back to back to back. So regardless of, you know, just like who gets the ball, you know, nobody determines. I think Gavin had 3 catches. So we spread it around as much as we can based on, you know, what the coverages tell us to do.
How well they played this season and just kind of all of the
Who's they?
The linebackers.
Yeah, I was thinking you were thinking SMU.
And all the talk surrounding that group. Are they kind of like the heartbeat of the team right now, like in terms of just bringing the energy each and every week and everything like that?
You know what? I hope not. You know, they bring energy all the time. They you know, they got swag. They're certainly confident. You know, linebackers like to talk a lot, so that's good. But you know, you could say they're the heartbeat. You know, people are going to feed off them. But you know, they had one of those games, and like do it again. Like if you get 3 more pick sixes, you know, maybe you're the heartbeat. But we better have a bunch of heartbeats, right? I mean, if that's all we're waiting for the linebackers to make a play, you know, we're in deep, you know, trouble here for the next 5 games. You know, 3 of which are on the road. So, you know, but you know, we're going to feed off everybody. We talk to our guys all the time about feeding off, whether it's CJ and Poppy and Desmond and Eli and that offensive line knocking, you know, Brian Baer knocking people off the ball, whatever it is. I mean, we want to feed off a good plays, regardless of what they are. And you know, Junko's been, you know, Ben Saul, he's a heartbeat. I mean, Junko's punting the ball. I mean, Junko, I mean, you know, in this room, you guys ought to have a vote on most improved. But like Junko, you know, again, it's called progress. It's called development. And you know, Coach Bernowski's done an outstanding job with him in his kicking game.
How about a couple more before we wrap up?
How's John Fitzsimmons helped you guys pull things together on defense? I mean, it's obviously it's more than just him, but since he's been back, you guys have steadily gotten better. Seems a lot quicker on defense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it starts up front, as we know, and you know, he's been very reliable inside. You know what you're going to get. There's no up and downs. And I tell you what, Kai Johnson made some big plays. I mean, we jumped up. You know, he made a big play on the screen, but you know, the one that's kind of, you know, one of those plays that, you know, ticks you off as a coach. You know, another negative play. You know, focus on the negative plays is the 3rd down and 3 where, you know, Sincere and Chief maybe jump off sides to give him a 1st down free play, but we also get a strip sack. Like that's another sack. Even if we don't get the strip, like it's another sack. Add another sack to the list. But we're putting pressure on the quarterback. But Nakai, you know, played, you know, was productive in some of those little things like that. But you know, anytime you're productive inside, that those D tackles are critical, and they better be really good this week because SMU is going to want to run the football. So we're going to, you know, you talk about a stop the run and RPOs. This is SMU and Brett Lashley.
Jerry, you want your wrap up?
Thank you. I noticed a lot of your fans were too happy yesterday that you're undefeated and you're only ranked number 18.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
A lot of your fans weren't too happy that you're undefeated and you're only ranked number 18 in the country. What would you tell those fans?
Hey, let's just be 1-0 every week. I mean, I don't care. Like, I guess I started off saying I don't care about the rankings. Like they, you know, tell them not to get caught up in the numbers. The stats don't matter. The only thing that matters is wins and losses. If we keep doing what we're doing, I think we'll be in good shape in the end. Don't you think so? So, Jerry, tell them that, would you? You know, I don't go on Twitter and read all the fans are. Fans out there, relax. Let's just, you know, support the football team. Looking at the camera, support the football team, and let's just keep going 1-0. That's what I'd say. And all that stuff doesn't matter. You know, you look at the preseason rankings. I mean, how bad are those? You know, where are they now? You know, and you know, there's a lot of overrated teams up there, and maybe some underrated teams. So,
Jerry, good presidential debate question. What would you tell them? Thank you all.
sounds like the next moderator.